Hey everyone, it's Nelson and I'm back with another volunteering video. This week's subject is going to be on volunteering during the coronavirus. As we all are aware, there's a lot of things going on during this pandemic and a lot of changes have been made to traveling as a whole. So while some border restrictions have been easing up around the world, some of us have now the ability to travel abroad. So I wanted to take the time today to address some of the things that we may face when volunteering and traveling to another country. As always, please, I'd much appreciate if you could hit the like and subscribe button below. And as always, nothing but love and gratitude. As some of you may know, I am from the United States and I'm currently residing there. The issue with the face mask in the United States is a huge issue. We have one side the anti-maskers and one side the pro-maskers. Now, I'm not a medical doctor and I'm not here to give you any sort of advice. But I'm here to tell you that we do need to be respectful of the countries that we're going to. Furthermore, some airlines themselves as a whole will not even allow you on the airline unless you are wearing a face mask. So get used to this. I would highly recommend you put this in your bag, maybe a preferable cloth one. So if you're one of the people who may be anti-mask, that's completely up to you. At this point, the chances are you being able to travel abroad without wearing this are probably slim and none. Whether it be from the initial point of the entry on the airplane or to when you actually get the country, and then there are regulations, and then on top of that, the organization. Now, very well, there could be organizations that have no issue, but at some degree or level, you're going to need to have requirement for a face mask, and that more than likely is something that you're going to have to live with for the foreseeable future. Now, again, it's not something that's up for debate. I'm not telling you any medical advice. It's just a matter of fact. So if you're not comfortable wearing a face mask at some point, then volunteering abroad for you or traveling in general is not for you in the foreseeable future. Alright guys, so our next topic is travel restrictions. Now, if you've done any sort of volunteering in the past, we know that visas are an issue to begin with depending on the country of origin that you are from. With the whole pandemic and the COVID scenario, this brings a whole another onset of issues we can face when we're traveling abroad. Now, for the exception of air bubbles, and for those of you who don't know what air bubbles are, basically it's a bilateral agreement between the countries that you can avoid some sort of quarantine and essentially just go into the country like you normally would pre-pandemic. So what I'm getting to at is the quarantine situation. That's the most important issue that's going to affect you when traveling abroad. First, I'd like to say, and I probably doesn't affect too much to our community, but if you don't have at least 14 days to go ahead and visit another country, okay, and basically what I'm implying is your travel for now and the immediate future should be something where you're looking to stay at a country for months at a time. For the simple fact, there's a lot of countries around the world, depending again where your country of origin is from or where you most recently were residing at, you'll be mandated a 14-day quarantine. So in short, this list is constantly updating each and every single day. So I'm not even wasting my time, to discuss what country is this and what country is doing that, okay? Bottom line, I'm gonna link a website below which is pretty much updated every single day, and it'll let you know when you're going to the country whether you are required to quarantine or not. So this is one of the biggest things I can tell you. You need to make sure you have the time to travel this time, because more than likely, if you're going to the country, there's a chance that you have to stay in your home for 14 days before you can even go to the country or even volunteering for that matter. The last piece of information I'd like to touch on is the actual testing of the virus itself. Some countries have already implemented or are about to implement testing requirements before you either arrive at the country or when you arrive there. Countries like Austria, Germany, Cambodia, Iceland have some degree of this testing procedure in place, and more than likely you're going to be held responsible for the testing cost. So keep that in mind to save a little bit extra for the actual testing procedures. I actually appreciate this method a lot more because if you can prove yourself negative for the virus, you can avoid the quarantine altogether and start roaming the country once you arrive. Aside from that, I cannot overemphasize the things that are constantly changing all the time. So what I've said today may not be relevant tomorrow. So if you are going to go ahead and volunteering during these times, please take the safety precautions necessary, not only for those around you, but for yourself, because the last thing you want to do is go ahead and get yourself infected when you're trying to do a good thing abroad. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, please hit the like and subscribe button below. Until the next one, thank you so much for watching.